And gentlemen and anything in between. We're back. We're back. Alright, time for me to lay down the law. Show you noobs why I'm right about everything. Let's have some fucking debates. As normal, I always go into this thinking there's going to be 1.5 million people that are going to be wanting to jump on and tell me why I'm so stupid. Because if you take just a quick peek at any kind of Twitter or YouTube engagement, there's always a few fucking 100 people being like, this guy's dumb. Obviously, not only directed at me, I'd say directed at pretty much everybody. But I take it personally because it's also directed at me. So let's fucking do it. I'm going to roll in my fucking sleeves and I'm going to show you guys who's fucking boss. So crispy, that's my brother. I love these streams. It helps me vent. It helps me articulate myself. It helps you guys come on and connect. And I think it just keeps me and you guys a little bit more accountable. You know, a little bit. Like if I ever say something really dumb, somebody can just come on, jump on, and give me a little bit of feedback. A little bit of feedback. And this is what I love about it. But if you guys say anything dumb, I hate to make this fucking arbitrary divide between me and you, because there's fucking loads of you and one of me. But if you guys say anything dumb, then I get to invite you guys on, and we fucking talk about it. You think Kaki had a point the other day? No, I think that guy's pretty toxic. Not very intelligent. With all the love to him, I hope he does well in life. But c'est la vie. Certain people just have a lot of pain inside of them and they don't know how to express it in any other way apart from to try and hurt other people. Somebody says Zdorovo. Is it Starovo or Storovo? I don't know how to... So, because you need to fucking memorize when it's O and when it's A. And that's fucking weird. Am I Charlie Carrel on Chess.com? Yeah, do you want a game? You want a fucking game? You want a fucking game? You want to play me at chess? You want to turn this debate stream into a chess stream? I'll fucking lay down the law in any game you want. I'll play you a Go. I've never even played it. I don't even know the rules. I'll fucking crush you. Yeah, you can play me at Chess.com if you want. It's, Can someone write that fucking HTTP thing again? Fucking... Wait, I can find it. There we go. HTTP : I hate that you have to write this in Discord. It's the worst. http://twitch.tv/Epiphany77. We're live, boys. Come play. Fuck. Wait, let me rewrite this. http://twitch.tv. Yeah, it's not as memorable. We'll delete this one and we'll go at everyone. No, at everyone. We're live, boys. Come and play. Come and play. Come and play. Good morning. So you're saying chess, but I'm hearing Among Us. Yeah, fucking. Let's. I'll fucking crush you in Among Us as well. Crispy, I'll fucking crush you with everything. Let me get the Zoom chat up as well. We love a little bit of Zoom. I'm not liking the topics you've talked about recently. Well, I've talked about everything, dude. I've talked about poker. I've talked about flat Earth. Had a flat Earth guy on. That was pretty crazy. I've talked about COVID stuff. I've talked about pets. I've talked about family. I've talked about fatherhood. I've talked about masculinity, femininity, spirituality. If you don't like all of it, then that ain't a problem with me. That's a problem with you. Yesterday I poked the American Hornet's Nest and told Twitter that circumcision is barbaric, which of course it's fucking barbaric. And every time you mention that online, there'll be some Americans being like, no, don't take away my guns and don't take away my baby dick chopping. Those are the two things that mean a lot to me. Don't touch them. And, You love to see it. You love to see it. By the way, guys, don't chop off baby dicks. Yeah, don't commit baby genital mutilation. They can't consent. It's unhealthy. It's unholy, and it's barbaric. Causes trauma to the body. You guys chill out with your baby dick dropping. It ain't cool. It ain't cool. Hey, Charlie. I hope to see you play some poker for the challenge soon. Yeah, we've got like 15 episodes saved up. Do you believe in astrology and zodiac signs? Because Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces is the ultimate trio. Fuck yeah, water signs. Fuck yeah, the triad of water signs. Yeah, we're crushing it, man. Not only that, we're all Atlantean as well. 3 Atlantean people in one family. 3 water signs in one family. She's got a fucking Scorpio moon, so that's going to be crazy, right? Is it still unholy if it's done for religious purposes? Is diddling kids unholy if it's done for religious purposes? Ask yourself that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, making his Epiphany poker debut. We have the one, the only. 1 second, dude. We have the one, the only, Marianne. Welcome. You are muted. Hello, Marianne. Thoughts on private schools? My kid ain't going to any schools unless they really want to win the Roller. Marianne, you are still muted. You can click a little arrow, usually at the bottom left, that will help you navigate to the settings for your microphone. And then the settings for your microphone will hopefully be quite... Or you sometimes need to press click to connect audio or something like that. Technology is tough, as they say. Making their Epiphany Poker stream debate debut. We have somebody who can't figure out Zoom. This is why I should probably just fucking have streamers on the whole time. Is chess player Magnus Carlsen good at poker? He seems intuitively good from the few hands that I've watched. But it's hard for me to say. Sorry, Marianne. With all the love and all the respect, we're gonna have to kick you out, as seems like you don't know how to make Zoom work. So get out of here. Good try. Good debate. 1-0 me. Oh, I accidentally just reported them. Oops. Well, that's good. Remember, guys, absolutely any topic you want. Fortunately for you, your host today, Charlie Carrel, is so well versed in every topic under the sun that you can have the most niche topic that you could possibly imagine. Something that you're fucking super invested in, that you've studied for generations upon generations, that has been passed down through your family bloodlines. And I'll fucking take you on. Have I ever tried Tantra? Tantra, yes, but not in an official way. Tantra is a very vast and whole term, and a lot of the tantric practitioners out there don't really understand what Tantra is. They just kind of go through the motions of it. But good luck with it. I hope you found a good one. Congrats for the baby. Thank you, Vikas. Let's fucking go. We got a fucking baby. We made a whole baby. Like a whole one person has been added to the family. I'll keep spamming the link. Maybe I need to put it on Twitter or something. Thoughts on AI like ChatGPT? Fucking love it. Love it. We 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 love it. All right, let's try and post this on Twitter as well. Opinionated Twitter users, come join my debate stream where you can tell me I'm wrong about anything I've ever said. Twitch.tv/Epiphany77. Good luck. Alright. 0 takers so far, apart from one person that couldn't figure out the technology. So far so good. What would you get Khaki back in? I've found out that it's probably best in my life to set certain standards. And certain levels of toxicity have to kind of be cut out. So I did challenge Khaki to a heads up. Don't know if he's going to accept it. Don't know if anyone told him about it. But if he wants to put heads up, I'll do that just to prove my worth. It's a broken player. But apart from that, I'm not going to talk to the guy. Yeah, it's good to have boundaries. I got a little bit taken away by trying to just fight all the different fights. But some fights just aren't worth fighting, as they say. Ladies and gentlemen, making his or her Epiphany Poker debut, we have Justus. Welcome.
Hello, Charlie.
Oh, you're very quiet. 1 second. Let me try and turn you up.
Maybe it is also me.
Guys, can you hear him on? Say testing. Say testing.
Testing. Test. Mic check.
Alright, I can hear you. Let's see if they can. What are we talking about today, Mr. How do you pronounce your name?
Justus is my name, and I'm the Dalai Lama.
You're the Dalai Lama?
No, from the chat.
Oh, I was going to say, dude, that's a big claim.
Oh, my camera is unfortunately somehow not working today.
Don't worry about it, Mr. HHDL.
You mentioned that there are 144 dimensions in the universe.
Hell yeah, that's not something I can back up in debate, though. Trust me, bro.
Well, that is what I wanted to point out.
Oh, okay, so let's go into that. Where you? I can give it my best shot. Let's give it a go. What's your argument that how many dimensions are there and why do you know that?
First of all, I think we have to come to a definition what a dimension is.
Mm-hmm. We have a pretty strict idea of what dimensions are mathematically. Conceptually, it's very hard. Like we could just point towards like first dimension, dot, 2 dimension, line, 3 dimension, cube and shit like that. 4 dimension, well, that's getting a little bit confusing now. Time also happens to kind of be a dimension by the looks of it, but it's hard to say. Yeah, so that kind of like another element of direction of space, something along those lines. But I'm sure once we get into deeper dimensions, then that stops being the right definition. So I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, yeah.
So what's your argument?
Well, I'm coming from a space that if you give me an argument for 144, I think by the nature of me coming from the space of not thinking it is 144, I come with a counter argument. So yeah. I come from the space of I don't know how many dimensions there are, and
how about this? If you met the actual Dalai Lama and he said with 100% certainty, "Hey, Justus, there are 144 dimensions," what would you think of that?
Well, then I would say the Dalai Lama said that there are 144 dimensions.
And you would give that, assuming that you trust the Dalai, I assume based on your screen name that you trust the Dalai Lama's judgment. When he says something with 100% certainty, he's not saying it out of nowhere. He's saying it with...
Oh, no. I have seen like spiritual people saying things just to direct the energy in a way that it benefits the people at this moment at the most. So there's a general distrust in the words by themselves. I'm more trusting in the energy that is caused by the words.
Okay, well, the Dalai Lama wouldn't lie to fucking promote some kind of cause. The idea is that truth is one of the highest virtues to maintain. But if you don't believe that, I can't really argue it, because the reason that I feel very strongly that there's 144 dimensions is because the wisest, most knowledgeable person in the world that I know, that I've ever met, not in the world, but that I've ever met in the world, told me with 100% certainty that there are, and this is their absolute wheelhouse of knowledge. This is they've shown me things. metaphysical abilities that go against the laws of Newtonian, or ostensibly go against the laws of Newtonian physics. They've been right on fucking everything that they've said. When it comes to these metaphysical truths, they've been able to prove things left, right, and center, and they don't say things with that level of certainty unless they have a lot of reason to do it. And so I can't give a first-hand argument of why I believe that. So that's why it's hard for me to debate. But yeah, it's kind of like an appeal to authority, which is obviously not the best. But when there are types of authority that have like 100% batting record, then it's, from my perspective, very, 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 very likely.
Yeah, I see this. Still, I'm only trusting own experience. I have to say that I have had a guru, and he said one thing, and 1 year later he said the opposite.
You got to get a better guru, dude.
I had a guru.
Yeah.
This was very confusing, but
what was the thing that they said?
He said, for example, that the way he's teaching yoga will influence the whole world in a way that some core principles of his teachings right now will be applied within 1 year all over the world in all yoga patterns.
Oh, you found a guru that was actually a cult leader. Perfect. We love those ones. We love those cult leaders.
But there's the problem when there are the divine energies all around, and you can feel them. It's hard for me to say where he is at. I can't say he's not what he claims to be. When I think about Sadhguru, for example.
Yeah, you got to have some good tools of discernment within yourself to be able to judge the authenticity of these people, huh?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and when you're not put on the ground, then it's not easy to decide. And so I kept distance from it. And
is your ex guru found online?
Oh yes.
What's that? What are they called? Let's get a picture of this guy up.
His name is Nityananda.
Nityananda? Can you spell that? N-I-K?
Just like, N-I-G-H.
N-I-G-H-I?
N-I-T-H.
Nityananda. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yananda. Yeah. No, what? Just Nityananda?
Just Nityananda Swamiji. Something.
Oh, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, somebody showed me this guy before. In fact, a guy very high up in the poker world showed me this guy before. Yeah. I don't like his energy. I don't trust his energy. He's got a very...
Yeah, I'm not trusting either. I had crazy experiences, but I'm not trusting either, yeah?
And that's the thing. You can find people who can, give you these wild spiritual experiences, but that doesn't mean they're anywhere near as deep as they are, and it doesn't mean that they have the depth of knowledge that they say that they do. Like you'll find cult leaders that can give their followers experiences, and you'll find loads of spiritual people that can do the same thing. But when I look at that guy's energy, I see a lot of like snake energy, like a lot of deception, a lot of kind of like creepy energy as well.
Yes, that's there. There's no doubt.
Yeah, and if you find a guru who is legitimate and is authentic, you won't see that in them.
Yeah, that's. Well, I'm going for the feelings now. Yeah, but he gave me some really important, crucial breakthroughs. I needed on my journey.
Well, I'm glad that happened, man. I always avoid having gurus. I don't like the idea of just having one.
Oh, it wasn't a choice. It just happened,
Wait, what do you mean it wasn't a choice?
It just happened. I just watched this video and breakthrough happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat asked, what skills do gurus possess? The guru is meant to take all of your darkness and help you turn it into light. It's meant to shine a mirror on you, and they're meant to have a certain level of spiritual prowess and awareness and consciousness and understanding of the universe that they can direct you in the way that they see fit in towards your own journey of enlightenment. I don't like the whole concept in general. I think that everything ought to be your guru. I think that you could learn from literally a rock on the fucking ground. If you think deeply enough and if you meditate deeply enough, and the idea of only having one, I think, is really unhealthy.
Yeah, I've seen people walking the guru path to the finish.
I've seen it too. They haven't finished it. There's never been anyone that's reached Buddhahood through the guru path.
I have seen someone.
No, you haven't.
Reaching the finish.
No, you haven't. Nobody's reached the finish since Buddha, my friend.
No, not as Buddha. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not.
What do you mean? What do you mean by the finish then?
That she's free to go. She's free to leave the body.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they've reached nirvana.
I'm pretty sure that that's where she is.
All right. Well, you enjoy that thought, my friend. Yeah, right.
No, she could say on the spot who I am. Let me tell you. Yeah, I think I had this sort of similar experiences that you had with the people you trust in that gave you the 144 dimensions. I had talked to her and asked her a question, and I didn't even know what the root cause of my question was. And she gave me an answer that, with her mere words, that made no sense. But in my mind, the correct answer to what the question actually was just appeared. And all the divine energy is there. And that's why I'm trusting her.
That to me isn't a very good data point to trust somebody. Like when I'm assessing whether somebody is somebody that I would listen to, especially in the spiritual realm where there's a lot of uncertainty, what I'll look for is the concordance between their words and reality, their words and their actions. So for instance, if somebody says, hey, I can predict this about a person from a photo, and then they just do it, one of the people who's taught me metaphysics looks at a photo of someone and can diagnose, when they were a kid they had bilateral pneumonia, when they were a kid when they currently have this illness that's like completely unrecognizable from the face, but just from being able to tap into their energy. Amongst fucking 100, 200 different data points that I've had from being able to see that they do things that modern science deems impossible. That's the kind of thing, database, that I would build up when I'm learning to trust somebody. But just having that one experience, to me, that's not even a data point. That could be many, many other things. It could be that you're just in the right energy, you're in an open energy. It could be something else that happened that you think happened. So that to me isn't enough to trust that woman.
Oh yeah, well, there are more things to it. She also passed me on. She said, I have to move on. Shouldn't meet her again. And that's not what she directly said.
So where are you getting this trust of her or of the other guy, or like what have they been able to show you that is so extraordinary?
She speaks, it's similar to you. When I first heard you speaking here in the internet, like I've watched your stream now, I don't know, 3 times or something. And the first time I heard you speaking, I just knew you know what you're talking about when you're talking about how you see things are going on in the world. I'm not saying this is the absolute truth, but you're relating to the outer things, like on power dynamics in our world. And so
I have a good connection to truth, but if you compare me to loads of other people, I'm still such a baby.
Yes.
And
yes,
so it's very.
I felt this connection to truth, and also your inner intention not to hurt. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this with this woman, she's like working as a healer, but she knew she can't take money from she said I cannot take money from I
So
offered and
so what I'm curious about, so between me and Buddhahood is like a lot, you know, there's like a shit ton. You know, it's not, I'm not even close to being close to achieving Buddhahood.
yeah, let me give you something here right now. Who is thinking this thought you just said?
Who is thinking the thought?
Yes.
I didn't even consider it a thought. I wasn't thinking.
Well, you spoke this word.
Yeah, I spoke the words because the words go through me when I'm in flow.
Yes. So this word's origin is you. So this barrier you put between yourself and the Buddhahood.
So
the answer is
so if you want to like dig deep into the truth, every word that I say is going to be delusional and illusional, and every word that anybody ever says is going to be a mistranslation of truth. So if the, you know, if we want to speak truth, then we pretty much just have to sit in silence and meditate on nothingness and just have this kind of conscious awareness. But what I'm doing is I'm bringing myself back down to the normal realms, the objective realms, the shared realms, whatever you want to call it. And I'm communicating in a way, in the same way that I would say, you know, 2 + 2 = 4. C-betting a flop is going to be profitable in these kind of situations. There is a gap between me and Buddhahood. You know, obviously there's like the deeper awareness that none of this is real and everything is an illusion. But when we look past that, we still need to communicate to fucking live this life that we've been fucking blessed with, this illusion of life. Then we want to start talking in these delusional terms, and this is one of those terms. But I'm this being Charlie, this being, this soul, this body, this whatever else it is that makes me me. If you compare this clump of energy to the clump of energy that was Gautama Buddha, then there's a huge gap in that what we call spiritual awareness. But that's not me actually thinking that I'm separate from Buddha.
Yeah, I just tried to. Yeah, I think I'm not sure if you felt the intention of what I was trying to say. Well, you hit the right layer, let's say, yeah, where I tried to point to that I wanted to say that these words of I'm so different from it is an obstacle created by ourselves, and it can be taken away within a split second.
But everything that we say is an obstacle created, and so to function in life, we need to speak in these obstacles. You know, like every single spiritual teacher that's ever uttered a word speaks in these obstacles. So
that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that we need to look past that, and we need to be able to have these objective conversations without getting distracted by the knowledge that you and I have that most people aren't yet aware of, but that everything is one and one is nothing, etc., etc. But when we're talking about on a kind of more three-dimensional realm, I can create this. It's not actually a separation, but I can call it a separation between me and Buddhahood in the same way that I can call it a separation between me and Usain Bolt when it comes to sprinting. So what I'm saying is that there is a gap, and because there's such a large gap, it's very easy for somebody who's like new to spirituality to look at the way that I'll speak and do a lot of like energy readings or various other things that I'll do and be like, whoa, this guy's great. And that's why I make it very, very clear that I'm a fucking baby. But what a lot of spiritual teachers do, they'll take advantage of, whether subconsciously or consciously, they'll take advantage of that perception of them. And they will say, oh yeah, well, I've got these divine energies around me, and maybe that means that I've reached nirvana, maybe that means I've done this, maybe that means I'm this kind of person. And so what I'm asking is, like, if you believe that this person reached nirvana, what is kind of your database? What's your evidence set to make that assertion?
Well, she said she was about to leave the body twice. Well, she left the body already twice, but wasn't at one point she wasn't sure, and she talked to her guru. And he said she's free to go, but she still has a dharma to do if she wants. And that's why she's deciding to stay, and that That is why I can nail down on her not to take any money from her. I just know, and that this is sub communication. It's not communicated openly.
I would, from my feeling from this conversation is, it feels like you're giving too much credit to other spiritual
Yes,
people.
I do. But just as you said, I'm so. I do the sort of same thing. I say I'm just such a baby.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell anybody how to go the spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Because
But
I don't want to deceive them.
yeah, but at the same time, you have your microphone's all over the place. By the way, I think you're moving your phone. You have to have this level of discernment. You have to have this level of analysis and critical thinking when it comes to whether a spiritual guru is what they say they are. I muted you because your microphone's all over the place right now. You can unmute once you've managed to stay still. By the way, for anyone listening, please feel free to jump in and debate me on absolutely any topic you want. Any topic under the sun. Did I deal with urines in how? It looks like it's not gonna go through. Oh, hey Justus.
Hey, is it better now?
Sounds a little bit better, yeah. Yeah, maybe it's not actually.
No, I just get quiet, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, you have to have this sense of like critical analysis when it comes to these spiritual worlds. If you enter the spiritual realm without a deep connection to the intellect, it's very easy to get lost in the in delusion.
Oh yeah, I've been down to this road.
Yeah.
It's just getting better. No, I didn't eat. I didn't eat.
You didn't
very long.
Didn't eat.
I did eat this, and this takes away the ability to judge. You're just flying. You're stop losing Earth. You're not getting rooted. I'm progressing, and views change, and all this. It's for me personally. It's not that I came to the spiritual world. It was a consciousness. It was not like I decided, oh, I have to change. It just came by my life, the way my life went. It just happened.
Yeah, it sounds like you're definitely heading in some cool directions. My gut instinct is that when you're talking, there's a little bit of danger when it comes to the way that you're exploring spirituality, and the danger is like losing yourself completely.
Yes.
And perhaps spending a little.
This challenge I've mastered. No worries, Charlie. No worries. This challenge I've mastered.
You good? Okay.
This already happened.
Okay.
But I just started to go for my inner compass.
Yeah, don't look to any gurus to tell you what's up and what's down, what's true and what's false. Just look inside and figure it out for yourself. And then if you have questions that you can't get past, then find a guru. But for now, I'd say it sounds like you got to have some more trust in yourself, a little bit less trust in these what I would say probably fake gurus.
Yeah, it's very good. I have to say, sharp analysis.
Sorry, your microphone's really screwed. Do you want to call back another day, and then we'll finish off now, and you can call back another day, and once your microphone's a little bit better, we'll have a long ass conversation about spirituality.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Justus. You're a beautiful human being. Thank you for your kind words as well.
Thanks also for
Peace, brother. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om. So, apologies for people that probably didn't know what we were talking about for most of that. Shout out to the people that did. So yeah, the Russian cash bet, it seems like it's going to be a little bit impossible. And the reason for that is that a lot of people have already figured out my screen name. And from that, it only takes one person to just ruin the bet in either direction. So if one person wanted to come drop down stakes and just 3-bet me relentlessly if they were 4-tabling, that would just really kill my ROI. And if one person were to like chip dump to me and like just like gift me stacks for the challenge, that would really boost my ROI. And so there's no way to get around that unless I like created a new account and played anonymously, and then create another account and played anonymously, and that's against the rules. So with Zinhao, I like the guy. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play him heads up and be like, yeah, no, you think I'm not any good at poker? I don't think he thinks that, but I'm like, you know what, you don't think I'm any good at poker? I'll just play you. Play some fucking 5-10, 10-25, I don't know, some medium stakes, you know, and just play over a large sample. I think that could be really fun. With the nerd guy, he kind of sent me a weird message, and I kind of don't want to talk to him anymore. But yeah, it looks like with Zinhao at least we might have some kind of bet to see who's the greatest of them all. But I'm still gonna complete the 200 Russian cash challenge. Just not with 100k bet on. So yeah, we'll see. Why would someone 3-betting me decrease my EV? Because when I'm playing, first of all, it's not that I'm just trying to beat 200 Russian cash. It's that I'm trying to beat it to 14 big blinds per 100 pre-rig. Now that is a lot, and my strategy on it is playing around about 30% VPIP. Like no matter what I do, I just find myself playing about 30% VPIP. So if you're playing 30% VPIP, it just takes one reg to just relentlessly 3-bet you, and you just have to make ludicrous folds and things like that. And it could take my win rate from 14 to 10, you know, something like that. And that would be disastrous for the challenge. So yeah, Kaki already said that he wanted to come and fucking jump on the challenge and fuck it up for me. And I'm not too worried about him specifically. He doesn't seem like he's particularly good at poker, no limit at least. But you know, if even if he did it, it would probably be kind of annoying. So yeah, we'll do the challenge. We'll just do it the way that I was intending on doing it, doing the $500 to $100,000 challenge, and then we'll just fucking go for it. If somebody's 3-betting you too much, you just fight back looser and you won't lose too much. No, that's not really how it works. Not really how it works. If there's an equilibrium and I'm playing like way outside of the equilibrium, I can get punished by anyone, by literally anyone. But the reason I'm playing so outside of the equilibrium is because the players on there are so tight, so nitty, unwilling to like 5-bet jam light, unwilling to 4-bet light in general, pretty much. And there's so many recreational players on there that I'm just getting in as many pots with them as possible. But if like a couple of very good regs drop down and start just playing like pretty aggressive, you know, 15% 3-bet, it would really screw the BB per 100. And I don't want to risk 100k just on the idea that some random person might you know, either gift me a lot of stacks, or some random person might take it away from me, or might try and battle me. Is tight not right these days? Not on GG. On GG, I play a 30% VPIP, and I fucking love it. So beautiful people, if there's anything in the world that you want to talk about, talk to me about a little debate ski. A little debate ski. Absolutely anything. Anything. You're hearing someone checking out. Whip, 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 whip. Yeah, that's me. I'm a whip, whip. You got me, man. You got me. I'm a chicken. I'm a little turkey. Gobble, gobble. Hi, Sam Hughes. Well, good bankroll management when it comes to tourneys. When you move up in stakes. Tourneys is tough. Maybe like 100 buy-ins or something like that. But you can take some shots every now and again in a really good spot. Thoughts on Phil Helmuth as a player in the last 5 years. It's tough to understand that man. Theoretically trash, makes a lot of really exploitatively trash plays, but he's got so much belief in himself that fucking hell, that probably goes a long way. You get a chance to watch Life Project? I did not. I actually don't know what Life Project is, sorry. Sorry if you've already told me. There's gotta be somebody in the chat that wants to fight me on a topic. I've talked about so many controversial things. There's gotta be one person that's like, fuck that guy. I want circumcision in my life. I disagree with him about trans things. I disagree with him about feminism or poker or fucking COVID or whatever. Ever watched The Secret Law of Attraction doc? No. Western people and their law of attraction ideas are very limited. They don't get it. They don't feel it. They haven't got to the nitty gritty of what they're wielding. Ideas on feminism. I don't know. Lots of stuff. Send an email to support. If you send an email to support, it's probably not going to get to me. If the support's doing their fucking job well. Guys, are you in my Discord? Did you know that you only have 1 day left of let me show you. If no one's going to jump on. Did you know that you only have 1 day left of early access to my to epiphanypoker.com? 1 day left of paying $57 a month for the rest of your fucking life. Wait, I don't mean that. What do I mean? Epiphanypoker.com. And after that, it's going to be more expensive. So you have 1 day left. Let's check this. Let's check this bad boy out, shall we? Wait for it. 1 day left to get all of this and so much more for $57 a month. Do you want to join the elite sessions? All recorded. You can look at the coaching. I charge $500 an hour for my private coaching. I'm doing it fucking every week for free. Well, for the elite people, it's, you know, they're paying $57 a month. You want to look up how to play 100 Zoom? Well, fucking great. And as of in 2 days' time, the affiliate starts. The fucking affiliate starts, and you guys can start making. If you have people that you think might enjoy this community, you can have your own affiliate link and make money from them joining. And I love the idea of a lot of people making fucking passive income as we grow our community, our beautiful community that's going to be so valuable to absolutely everyone that joins. I fucking love that idea. So we could look at, you know, elite intros. These are people saying hi to each other. Whoa, these are all the elite people. Holy shit. We could look at elite hands. These are hands that people look, this guy's asking a hand, and I'm like, yo, here's all of my thoughts on this. And he's like, wow, I'm better at poker now. This is great. We go to the normal hands, cash game hands, and look at all this. Look at all of these hands that are being talked. Now, if you're a poker player, if you're a wannabe poker player, and you're not talking hands with the community, you're wasting so much money. You're wasting so much time. Look at all of that. You want to get as many people's opinion on it as possible. You want to have conversations with everybody that is better than you, the same as you, close to you in skill level. So go check out epiphanypoker.com. Let me just put it in the chat. Someone says sketchy link. What's sketchy? Opinion on gun laws in America and schools getting shot up. Don't take away their guns, but probably do some stuff around gun safety. Make it a little bit harder for the mentally ill. But the main problems around mental illness. It's very, very hard. It's very hard to take away guns from people. Is it public Discord? Yeah, the Discord is absolutely free, but you'll get access to some of the private servers if you pay. So you get a lot of the stuff there, even if you join for free. And there's thousands of people in there. Will this make me more money than Hussey's University? Probably. Fucking probably, man. If you buy the subscription today, then cancel at some point, we'd get your monthly price be $50 or $70. If you cancel, then come back, it'll be $77. But if you get it today and keep it, then it'll be $57. We can't let someone just fucking nab it and then get it later. in my opinion, we're building the absolute best community the poker world's ever seen. We've actually not truly launched, which is kind of crazy. We have something like, let me get the numbers up here. We have 230 as of last night. We had 237 paying members. We had something like 4,000 Discord members, and we haven't even launched. Like, we haven't started running ads. We haven't done email marketing. We haven't released the affiliate system. We haven't started the leaderboard system. We haven't probably got into like the home games and stuff like that. There's so many things that we haven't done that would really launch the community, and we still have had an insane amount of members sign up, and it's very, very exciting. We have so many ridiculously big plans for it as well. What's the Discord link? Let me get that for you. Have I always been anti-government? I'm not anti-government. Government's right. Shout out to the government making good postal services. How's it feel being a dad? Does your mind and perspective shift as much as everyone says? Congrats, by the way. No, it hasn't shifted that much, but there are elements to me that have opened up. So like a really predatorily protective energy has really, really blossomed in me. Like the really wanting to provide for my family and protect my family, like that really primal natural instinct to just fucking like, I'm pretty vigilant now, like way more vigilant now than I was before about potential dangers when Alora's around, my daughter. And yeah, that's pretty intense. But for seeing the world in a different way, it hasn't changed me much. Like a lot of people, they say that when you look into your child's eyes, then you feel an intensity of love that you've never felt before. And that, to me, it's true to some extent. There's like a flavor of love that I've never felt before. But when you've gone deep into meditation, or when you've been deeply connected to yourself, love is absolutely everywhere and everything. And yeah, the human element to love, I would say, is not as deep as the type of love that you will feel when you're connected to everything. So I can see why that would be transformational to people that haven't gone deep in those kind of ways. But for people that have, I feel like it's not as transformational, but it still has a very deep impact on you. Thoughts on Top G? I was actually talking about Andrew Tate yesterday with Hannah, and she described him very well. She described him like a bag of chips, like a bag of crisps, if you're English. And on the surface, it looks like there's this big bag, but if you open it up, it's like mostly air. And that's kind of what he is. Like, he's painted himself as this way to get out of the matrix. This he's marketed himself so well using like bots and things like that, using clips of him being controversial. But it's not truly who he is. Like he's exaggerating who he is, and he's playing a character for the sake of making money, and he's done it very, very well. Don't get me wrong. His businesses are extraordinarily successful, and he's paving the way for a lot of other businesses. In my opinion, he has according to the CEO I'm working with for Epiphany Poker, he has the most successful online education business in history. In human history. And that's pretty fucking crazy. I don't think he has particularly insightful insights. I think he says a lot of things that are true, but he also says a lot of things that are really toxic and a lot of things that are really untrue. And it comes from a place of hurt, and it comes from a place of insecurity, and it doesn't come from a place of love and care. Yeah, he's not like a deeply connected person. He's not like deeply loving. He's not deeply honest. He's not deeply compassionate. But at the same time, he does say some good stuff, you know, like he tells people to go out there and work for themselves and get outside the matrix, or whatever you want to call it. And, you know, he has some good things that he says. So I would never discount the whole of somebody based on, I just wouldn't discount the whole of somebody in general. But he's not a role model that you wanna look up to. Somebody Puddle Dumps says, yeah, like when he basically was praising the fact that he tricked innocent girls to work for him, he was also tricking clients to fall for them and lose money from his own mouth. Yeah, I saw those clips as well. Do you believe in healing powers from crystals, says Sam Hughes? I'm not going to give that answer to you publicly, because if I said yes, I'd sound crazy. If I said no, well then to other people I'd sound crazy. So what do you want from me? Sometimes you gotta just read between the lines. But at the very least, crystals are very pretty, and pretty things make me feel good. Yeah, Peacekeeper. When I look at somebody, I can feel how loving they are. I can feel how honest they are, and Andrew Tate is neither of those things. There's got to be somebody in the chat. There's got to be a human being out there that wants to come and debate me about something. Human beings, come on, one of you. Let's get in the old fisticuffs. Let's get in some debates or any topic you want me to rant about. Do you want me to do like a 5-minute? I do this sometimes at the retreats or events that I host. We'll play a game where the audience gives some person 5 topics to choose from, and they have to do a 5-minute talk on, or 3-minute talk sometimes, on one of those topics. So let's play that. If nobody's gonna come fucking talk to me, let's play that. Give me a topic that you think it would be difficult for me to give a 5-minute speech on. There's got to be. It's something that you think Charlie would actually really struggle on that topic, and I'll choose from these ones, or maybe I'll let you guys choose. Quantum entanglement, that'd be a tough one for sure. String theory, also very tough. Could probably do those. Yeah. It wouldn't be like a deeply knowledgeable one though. That's the unfortunate side of it. Modern macroeconomics, God complex. How is materialization possible? What's materialization? Soil carbon sequestration. Russia and Ukraine. Love, the risks of AI, especially when combined with the human mind. Banking system. These are all fucking tough. Italian cooking. These are pretty fucking tough. Keep them coming. Maybe something a little less technical, like a little like I wouldn't be able to talk to you about like the chemical composition of a fucking plastic bottle or anything like that, So something a little less like knowledge based, a little more like conceptual, like or like a topic that is a little bit more well known, like soil carbon sequestration. I barely know what that means, to be honest. Italian cocaine, the perfect goal swing, the jack forehand, best advice for young people. I could do those. We do have a person in the waiting room now. Is boredom an illusion? I like these ones. Okay, this is modern dating meta. These are ones I can do. Polyamory, evangelical consensus. Let's do one of those as soon as we've had our conversation with the one, the only. Hello. Making his Epiphany Poker debates debut, we have, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dwayne. Okay, this is modern dating meta. These are ones like the polyamory, evangelical consensus. Hey Dwayne, can you mute the stream? As soon as we've had our conversation with the one, the only. Hey brother.
Hey bro, how are you?
I'm feeling good. A little bit lightheaded, I'd say, but apart from that, I'm doing fucking good. What are we here to talk about, Mr. Dwayne?
Well, I was just talking about, asked you about Life Project and if you'd had a chance to see it. And you said you hadn't. I wanted to join and let you know a little bit about it.
Let's fucking do it. So, what's it called? It's called the Life Project.
Yeah, it's called Life Project. It's a documentary I've made here in Ethiopia. It follows my journey from Ethiopia. From Australia to Ethiopia to dig a well for a village here. So it actually it shows people how we can all do a project like this, because I feel like a lot of people in the world want to go and do a project like dig a well or make a garden or do whatever for villages, but they don't know how to do it. So Life Project explains to people how we can all go and do a project like this.
And what have you managed to achieve from the project?
Well, so far it's been very slow. Actually, it's been sort of blocked by social media to a large extent. I'm not really sure why that is, but Facebook and Instagram have all but blocked it. I can't even reach the community that I spent to build. I've got 7,000 people following in Facebook, but I can't reach them with posts even if I pay. And Facebook has said, there's all kinds of restrictions that are stopping me from being able to get it out there at the moment, and it's really difficult. So, I'm just trying to share it with people personally, and hopefully some people will want to look at it and share it. And because I really believe that Life Project has the potential to make a massive difference in this world. It shows people not only how we can go and do a project like this, but why we need to do a project like this. We all need to have a life project of our own, because at the end of our life, we all have the same questions. Who's going to remember me? What are we going to be remembered for? What have I done while I was here? What was the point of me being here? And by having a life project, we'll have answers for those questions, which is extremely important at the end of our life.
So what have you managed to learn on your project? And what have you managed to achieve?
Well, I've dug a well for a village. That's what I've managed to achieve so far. There's been very few people have actually seen the documentary. I've released it for free on YouTube, and I'm just trying to get it out there, basically. Because I believe the messages are really important.
Is it called The Life Project? Nope.
No, just Life Project. Even if you click on the name, it should lead you to my channel, and you'll be able to find them there.
No, what can I search on YouTube to find it?
If you search Life Project, together, Life Project, full stop, together we really can change the world.
Gotta work on your titles. There it is.
I'm not really experienced with the whole social media thing. I'm almost 50 years of age, so.
It ain't fucking easy. All right, I'll leave a link in the chat. See if people want to get in there and watch it. So you managed to dig a well. What did that achieve for the village?
It brought the water into their village, so it saved the ladies having to walk over 2 kilometres to collect their water. But it has a whole range of different effects. Once that water is there, it frees the ladies up for 2 hours of their day in that particular village. Some villages is a lot longer. So it allows them to have more time in their day to look after the family and do other things. Also, as the documentary explains, it's very common in these villages for the eldest daughter to have to stay home and help the mother with all of the work that needs to be done in the village. So very often the eldest daughter in the family doesn't get to go to school, but by bringing the water into the villages, it frees up the mother's time a little bit more, and it gives a better chance for that eldest daughter to be able to go to school. It allows the ability to grow food in the village, all sorts of things. Just bringing in the water is the basic thing, water is life.
Oh, yeah.
And once people have easy access to water, a whole range of different benefits can come from there.
Fuck yeah. And what made you decide to go to Ethiopia of all places?
Well, it's all kind of part of my spiritual journey. It explains in the documentary that I've known since before I can remember that it's my job to come to Ethiopia and help to fix the water problems here. So in 2011, I think my spiritual journey really picked up and intensified, and I went through some really amazing stuff. I was shown some incredible knowledge and shown that it was now time for me to start working towards coming to Africa and working on this. So my journey is all about following the feeling. So I do my best not to plan too much. I just follow the feeling, and whatever feelings come, because that's how the universe guides us. It guides us from our feelings, our gut feelings.
Shout out to The Alchemist, if you've ever read it.
There's a lot of people that don't realise, because everybody knows gut feelings, and everybody has them, but very few people realize that those gut feelings are actually our spirits around us, our angels, if you want to call it that, the universe actually guiding us. So the more we follow our gut feelings and the more we observe what happens when we do that, the more we get to learn directly from the universe and our angels exactly where we're supposed to go and all of the things we need to know for our job.
Do you have any inclination of where this is going to bring you in the future?
Not really. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm happy to follow the journey the universe wants to take me on. I just really want to see people seeing it, to hear this message and understand the importance of having a life project. As we discussed those questions we had before, at the end of our life, we all have the same questions. Now, within those questions is actually the meaning of life. Those questions are how we judge our own life. So how we judge our own life is actually the meaning of life, or one of the meanings of life. It's not the complete meaning, but it's one of.
So how much resources does a person need? If somebody listening right now wanted to go dig a well in Ethiopia, how much resources would they need to be able to do that?
Including travel, time spent here, accommodation, digging the well, maybe 10,000 US dollars would cover it completely. And that's fairly comfortably.
For one well?
For one well, yeah.
That's an expensive well.
Well, the well itself is about $6,000 for all of the materials and the stuff that needs to go into it. And then the other 4,000 is for your flights, accommodation, etc., your food while you're here. Because it takes a month or two to dig a well. You can do it with a drilling rig, which takes a lot less time. You can have one of those done in under a week, and it costs around about the same. But the reason we do it hand do it with the village is because all of the men come together, all of the ladies gather around, the village comes together, and it becomes a project that they.
That's really beautiful. That must have been such a beautiful moment to watch them do that.
It's amazing, and everybody's keen to work and everybody's keen to be a part of it. They're all excited to get water in their village, and it's just a beautiful energy to be a part of, And by the time we're finished digging the well, because the men and the women have done it themselves, they have a real sense of ownership over it. And during that period, we also teach them how to maintain. We get the village to elect a committee of 6. They're called the Water Committee. And there's 3 women and 3 men. And we get those guys together and we train them how to maintain the well, everything that can go wrong with it, how to fix it, where they can get those parts from, everything that needs to go into the maintenance. Too many charities come in with a drilling rig. They drill a well, they put a well on it, the water comes out of it, and they go away. And in 6 months, the rubbers on those wells at the bottom are broken. It won't pump water anymore. The villagers just think that there's no water left, so they just leave it to die. And for the sake of a couple of dollars to change the rubbers, those pumps can last forever. But the education doesn't come with it with most charities. It's very important that the villagers are given that education and that knowledge, and then they'll make sure that they keep that water happening.
I love it, man. Yeah, it sounds like you're doing fucking God's work out there. And I would love to see if your future would bring you to a place where you could help create a system where it's not so expensive per well, and maybe you could industrialize the process, not meaning that you'd be the same as the other charities going and doing that, but finding a mechanism where these things would end up being a lot cheaper for a person to do, because I $10,000 is a lot, obviously, for anyone, almost anyone.
I guess when you say $10,000 is a lot for people, it really is, and I get that. It's a lot of money for most people, but this is a life project, and we would encourage people to just take their charity money and save it themselves until they've got enough to go and do that. I love that. We can go to Europe and we can spend $10,000 in a month or even 2 weeks to see all of the pretty sights and all of the buildings, and we come back with photographs of us standing in front of the Eiffel Tower or London Bridge or whatever. But those things don't really have any energy or any feeling associated with them.
I could go on
When we
PokeStars
go,
right now and burn $10,000, and I've done it before. So yeah, you're right. It's interesting to think that even $100, if we were to spend that in a day on groceries or whatever, if you take that to somewhere like Yemen or Sub-Saharan Africa, like that $100 goes a fucking long way. And
absolutely.
yeah.
Like I also hear, just as part of what I do, I go in the street and sometimes I feed the street kids and I'll go to one of the little ladies that are selling the very basic breakfast stuff in the street and I'll buy everything she has and I'll give it to the kids. And that might cost me $10 US and I feed 30 or 40 children breakfast
That's crazy.
for $10. Like it's nuts. I wish I could afford to set up a thing where we could feed them more nutritious food and do it on a regular basis because I really feel like if people have food in their stomach, then they can focus on other things. When you've got to start your day with going and begging money so you can go and buy food so you can get breakfast, otherwise you're going to be sick, it really stops you from getting a start in life,
Yeah.
If they can come up with a good breakfast and if I could build that up into a place where they can have a shower and maybe put some fresh clothes on and go look for work, like these are the sort of things that I like to do to really give people a chance, an opportunity to go and do things for themselves. A lot like what you're doing with your charity and the homeless charity. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you're doing with that application and how people can connect with different services to try and get ahead in their life.
Yeah, it's an interesting balance between trying to find on the ground do the work as soon as possible because there are people currently suffering, and then also trying to create a system that's going to be world changing, and so these things can happen on a huge scale. And we need both. We need people digging those wells, and we need people behind the scenes in those meetings with lawyers and fucking whatever else to try and create a system that's going to be world changing. And yeah, I love what you said about being able to connect in with your heart and see what your own purpose is, because yeah, it's something that not many people are aware of. It's not something that people are aware that it's within them, the ability to be able to navigate their own personal adventure on Earth by just listening to their heart and seeing where it takes them. A lot of people just get lost just following whatever they feel is right from thinking, or their dopamine rushes, or whatever it is. I'm going to get this job because it makes sense logically, or I'm going to do this because it makes me feel good. But they're not really tapping into what's that internal compass.
Absolutely, and they chase after their thinking, and what we're all taught to do is to get a good education so we can get a good job, so we can buy a house, and all of the materialistic stuff that goes with that. But what we're doing when we're focusing on our thinking is we're actually going right away from spirituality. Spirituality and thinking happen in two different places in the body. Now, we talked about earlier our gut feeling. That gut feeling that everybody recognizes, that's our spiritual compass. That's how we get guided by the universe and our angels. And the more we focus on that and try to disregard our thinking, the more we will learn and the more we will discover that we need to know for our own personal journey. And like you were saying to one of the guys before, following a guru who only wants to give you information or be the guidepost is no good. We need gurus that will teach us how to be a guru ourselves, how to connect with the energy, how to connect with the universe, how to follow that feeling, because all of our journeys are individual. And there's no point us following a guru's journey. We need to follow our own. And the only way we can do that is to follow our own feeling, our own gut feeling, and allow the universe to guide us down the path that we're supposed to be going down.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. And I would say maybe a slight adjustment to that. It is very important to have a deep connection to thought and rationality and things like that. But it's the intellects and the rational mind is there to serve the intuition. It's there to feed it with input and to ground it in reality when you need to. So, like, for instance, if you want to market your YouTube video, it's really important that you like rationally understand how social media works. Things like that.
Yeah. I would just, going back to that point you were just saying, absolutely. The thinking is a tool and it's a very valuable tool, but that's That's all it was meant to be, a tool to help us achieve what our intuition shows us. Intuition in itself is a very interesting word because we just see it as intuition and we say my intuition.
Yeah.
But if we actually break that word down, it actually is intuition, which literally means being taught.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
So our intuition is actually teaching us.
I always feel that as well when, you know, if I'm meditating on something and you know, I'll go outside and I'll sit under a tree or whatever it is and I'll be like, hey, what's the answer to this? And it won't be my mind scrambling around for different answers. It will be me clearing my mind as much as possible, opening myself up spiritually and just seeing what comes through. And it's such a more powerful way of learning than trying to think your way into truth.
Absolutely. There's so much more learning, honest learning to be had from our feeling and paying attention to that than listening to our thinking. Our thinking is what we've been taught. It's what we've experienced. It's all of the stuff that's happened in our life. It's tainted by all kinds of different influences, and it's not us. Our gut, our intuition, that's us. That's our real soul. And all of the thinking and stuff that we make our decisions with is the thinking that man has taught us. And the thinking that man has taught us from the start is completely wrong. It's completely against what we're taught in most spiritual teachings. It's crazy. Now, just really quickly, and I know you probably want to speak to other people as well, but this difference between our feeling and our thinking, we were warned about this in most of the spiritual teachings. The Bible, for example, has the story of Adam and Eve. Now, in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve can speak to God directly. They can take whatever they want. They can do whatever they feel. God says to them only one rule. He says, "Do not eat from the tree of knowledge." Now, what he's talking about there is education and learning, because when we start to go into that, we start to live in our thinking and make all of our decisions from there, and we're taken away from the paradise of our feeling. So
it's a beautiful sentiment to end on. I've left the link to the project that you've got in both chats. So if people want to find it, then click on that YouTube link. It'll bring you to the Life Project documentary where our friend Dwayne here goes and digs a well. I'm looking at it now. This looks really fucking cool. You got some great energy there, Dwayne, and people in the chat were loving you. You're doing some beautiful things in the world. You're really spreading a good word, and you've got a very good way of articulating it in a way that other people understand. So shout out to that.
Thanks, guys. And I'd really encourage people to take an hour to go and watch Life Project. There's some messages in there that really might change the way that you look at life and the way you feel about life and your goals in the future. And if you love it when you watch it, please share it with everybody you know. We really need to get this message out there. The more people we can reach, the more people will go and do their own life project, and the more help we'll be able to give to people that are in desperate need, while at the same time helping people to find some real meaning in their own life.
Fuck yeah. All right, guys, give it up for Dwayne. You're a fucking great human being, man. And share it, watch it. Let's create some fucking change. It was so good speaking to you, man.
Cheers, bro. Have a good day, and thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
All love.
Cheers, bro.
All right, before we get our next person in, Mr. Swifty, I'm just gonna take a deep breath. Before the stream, I had quite a lot of ceremonial cacao, and it really opens up my heart. Like it makes me very, very sensitive to energy. So if you can tell that I'm a little bit down right now, it's because I just got a real fucking line. I can feel everyone's energy so fucking deep. Ladies and gentlemen, making his Epiphany Poker Debates debut, we have the one, the only, Swifty. Let's get Swifty. Let's get swifty. Welcome, friend. You're muted. Swifty. Testing.
Hello.
Hey, Swifty, how are you? Oh, there's an echo. Can you mute the stream or something?
Oh shit. Wait, hold on. Is it still there?
Testing. Nah, we're good.
Nice.
Welcome, my
Alright.
friend. What are we talking about today?
We're gonna talk about. I don't think talent exists.
You don't think talent exists?
No.
Oh my goodness. So the Mozart composing things when he's 5 years old is down to what?
I think it's purely down to straight from childbirth. So like I'll give an example. You know when you see these like child geniuses and they go on these shows, they always have these parents that are pushy and, you know, very intelligent themselves, and then they force their ideologies onto their you know, their son or daughter.
What about the Dalai Lama?
Don't know much about Dalai Lama, gonna be honest.
When the last Dalai Lama died, he was like, "Hey guys, you've got to find the next Dalai Lama in this little remote village that nobody's ever heard of." And then they go and find the next Dalai Lama when he's like fucking 2, and they say, "Hey, to test whether it's the Dalai Lama, we're gonna give him a bunch of toys that used to be the old Dalai Lamas, and you have to tell us exactly which ones are yours from the past life and which ones aren't yours." And then, you know, he fucking nails it. He can also point to all the stars and be like, "These are the constellations that do this." And he's a fucking genius kids from a remote village.
Yeah. That's about that's interesting.
After you. Yeah.
But yeah. So you obviously believe talent does exist.
I would redefine talent as something that modern science wouldn't call it. I don't know if talent exists in the way that most people think it does. I don't think it's purely like genetic variation. I think the genetic variation is caused by a deeper metaphysical and spiritual phenomenon.
Exactly, yeah.
So the way that I would view it is, if you're looking at it in terms of reincarnation, if somebody has had a lot of lives where they've managed to reach a deep level of spiritual endeavors, and then they're born into another body and they have a set of abilities and talents from that last life, then they would be able to kind of pick up where they left off, and that would explain why some people are fucking geniuses.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
100%.
Oh. Wow, I do not believe in reincarnation.
Oh, my friends.
Are you atheist?
No. Oh god, no. I used to define myself as atheist when I was a kid. When I was like between the age of like 13 to 20, 21, something like that.
Okay. So I got a couple of years to go.
How old are you?
I've just turned 19.
Oh, welcome, my friends. Yeah, it's very natural for people to want to reject religion, especially I think in places like England and America, because so many of the religious people making religious arguments in our culture are just pretty dumb. And the spirituality they're teaching doesn't feel good, it doesn't sound good, it doesn't make any sense. So that, for me, that's why I moved away from Christianity, basically from the age of like 9, although I didn't have a definition of atheists by that age.
Would you describe yourself as agnostic?
No. I got some pretty firm what I would call knowledge of the spiritual realms.
Okay. So if you were, let's say for example, you went to sleep tonight, all right, and in your dream you saw, okay, you probably know a lot more about this because you know loads more about spirituality. But let's say you saw Jesus. In your God in your dream, and he said something to you that was like crazy, would you or I don't know, Allah, would you then follow religion, or have you had something that happened to you that was, like you couldn't explain it? Like, I don't know.
Countless experiences like that I couldn't explain through materialistic science and things like that. Countless. Honestly, they started when I was probably around 21, and then once I started searching for them and looking for them and meeting people that could do certain things that modern science deems impossible, then fucking hell, they came like a fucking horde, like an army towards me. All of these experiences just battering me and slowly dragging me away from my pre-existing conceptions of reality, and eventually showing me that certain phenomena are real.
So when you were 21, was this based on, did this happen after research, or was this purely...
The first thing that got me was an ayahuasca experience. And
what again?
Ayahuasca.
Okay.
So it's a plant medicine, very, very, very deep and profound and scary for a lot of people. But there was this one experience that really kind of shook me, and I was very confused about it. I've told it on stream a couple of times before, but basically, I was in a teepee of 30 people, eyes closed, and I was coming to a conclusion that I wasn't able to make the decisions that I wanted to make purely based on rationality. And in that moment, I was like, there needs to be something further and deeper than rationality. And in a room of 30 people, the shaman taps me on the foot, and skipping the dramatic story, he basically looks me in the eye and goes, "Charlie, you're a very, very smart young man, but you are young. You must learn not to only think with your head and think with your heart, but think with your heart." And then he turns away, and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You know what I mean." I've told the story so many times, I don't want to get into it too much, but essentially it was like a level of knowledge of what I was thinking that the chance of it being coincidence was 1 in fucking millions. And it left me just with so many fucking questions. And then, that was the first experience out of thousands, honestly, of things that have just been beyond the explanation of modern science. And slowly I've managed to kind of accrue and build up a good knowledge and a good system of understanding of reality. And turns out I'm not the only one that does it. Apparently there's fucking hundreds of thousands of people out there that have this kind of knowledge. They just tend not to speak too publicly about it.
Why don't you think they speak too publicly about it?
It's a mix. So a lot of the people that are most well developed in metaphysics, they don't have any reason to, they don't have any desire to, they don't want to show off or anything like that. They don't care about furthering modern science. They do their work, and their work is important. Then there are other people who can do these amazing things and do them publicly, but just get kind of ignored by most people. There's scientific experiments done around them, and the science is very crystal clear about these things existing. There are other people that just aren't very articulate about it. Like I work with a woman called Kathy. She's very articulate in the sense of she'll be able to articulate what she does, but it's not like she'd be able to understand scientifically what's happening behind the scenes, and she doesn't really have the ability to go out and prove it with scientific methods because she's just not particularly. That's not the way that she is. She's not. That's not how her mind works. But then in India and places like that, there are people that speak openly about these phenomena. There are gurus. There are various other practitioners, yogis, whatever you want to call them, monks that have metaphysical abilities that modern science says there's no fucking way that exists, and then they just do it on a daily basis. You can go visit them, you can go speak to them, you can go meditate with them. They'll show you some fucking things. Turns out Swifty said his phone crashed, so never mind. He probably sells his course $57 per month so you can buy more ayahuasca drugs. I can buy as much ayahuasca drugs as I want, Mr. Super Passy. Hey, Han.
Yeah?
Oh, I thought you were speaking to me.
No.
Oh, okay. What was the second event that convinced me? I don't know what number 2 was, to be honest. There's just so many. And let's get Swifty back in here for 1 second. I feel it's so sensitive, so emotionally sensitive right now. I'm probably gonna call it.
Hello, Charlie. I've returned.
Hey, Swifty, how you doing? Can you mute me on stream again?
Yeah.
Thanks. So somebody in the chat actually made a really good point. Sid said, talent definitely exists. I used to go to math competitions as a kid. So did I, by the way. And there are people out there that are literally autistic savant level that can't be competed with. So how would you explain the autists who are just like next level geniuses when it comes to certain, maths or whatever it is, without kind of talent?
Oh, so so for example, people that are born with autism, myself included. Yeah, that's an interesting. Yeah, do you not think that? Do you not think that intelligence is something that is inherited whatsoever?
Yeah, I think it's definitely inherited, and I think talent can be derived from genetic predispositions, but it also seems like there's a lot of variance in it. Like two parents can have 10 completely different kids. Some will be insanely talented at math, some will be insanely talented at English, some will have no talents whatsoever. So it's pretty hard to argue that there isn't talent in there somewhere.
I don't believe. I'll probably change my view a bit. I don't believe there's much talent involved. I think those, because I did psychology A level. I don't believe that. We learned in psychology A level that the first year and a half of a baby's life is incredibly important.
Yeah.
Like they're like sponges, they say, isn't it? So I think in that year and a half basically shapes how intelligent they're going to be, how much they can pick up, etc.
I think that there's a large degree to that modern science does underestimate, or that people in general do underestimate. But I would say it's a mixture, and I have no idea what percentage of mixture it's going to be. But there's no way to explain, the Da Vinci's of the world, when he's like, his intelligence far supersedes the intelligence of everybody else around him, of Einstein. It's not like his parents were, both Einsteins. It was only Einstein that was Einstein. And he outgrew the intelligence of not only his family, but his peers and everyone else around him. And it's hard to argue that ain't going to be some level of talent.
What about on a physical level? If you look, if we say, for example, I don't know how clued up you are on football.
Not much.
Not much.
Yeah.
Let's use
Messi.
Let's use Lionel Messi as an example. So he's 5'7". Would you say he is? Here's what I think. I think that he's not particularly talented. He is talented, but not that. Talents wasn't the main reason. I think he's a very hard-working individual, and he got to the main reason he got to be one of the best in the world, arguably the best, is because of hard work, way over talent. There was no, I think, you get people that go, oh, I want to be a professional footballer, I want to do this. And then they're like, they don't get to that level because realistically they don't work hard enough. They're not going home, they're not, watching about, this could be with anything, chess, with poker. Are they actually putting in the work?
Yeah, it feels like what you're describing is true to a sense, but it doesn't discount the idea of talent. Like there are going to be people out there that worked harder than Messi that aren't going to be as good as him. There's just statistically it's gonna be true. There's probably like 1 million people that have tried to be professional footballers, and there are going to be a ton of people that work so fucking hard but just never made it. So and I know that if I were to dedicate the rest of my life to trying to be like the best chess player in the world, I'm not going to make it.
No.
Okay, that's not the best example because I didn't try from a kid. But if you just have like a random person that's born and you say, okay, we're gonna dedicate everything that we can to this person being the best dancer in the world, the chances are they're still not gonna make it.
Good example is Judith Polgar, if you're aware of her.
Yeah.
She she has 2 siblings, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if that's true.
They were basically brought up on chess, and
Yeah.
she became the best female chess player, arguably of all time.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good support for my argument that she's worked incredibly hard. She's basically lived and breathed. She's basically lived and breathed chess through her parents.
So
Especially parents.
why is she not the best chess player of all time? Why is she not better than the top, say, like 20 men?
You won't want to hear my answer.
Well, I mean, do you think there's a difference in talent between men and women? I do, by the way. I believe that
Okay, thank you.
men are inherently better at chess than women on average. On average,
Oh,
that doesn't mean all of them, but that means on average, and that's why
Yeah.
the extremes.
Yeah, I think assuming two people work. Let's assume you've got a male 1-year-old and a female 1-year-old, and they're brought up on chess. They get to 20. I think let's assume they're both the same talent levels and they both work to the same levels or whatever. The man will be higher chess rated than the female. So for example, Magnus Carlsen
on average, you can't say for sure, but on average, sure.
Yeah, on average. But I mean, I think that's a fair thing to say because there are no women that have challenged Magnus Carlsen. They can. None have made it to candidates.
Yeah.
But
she did beat him on an over-the-board game that I watched on YouTube a few months ago. So watch out, Magnus. But no, I'm with you. There's obviously differences between sexes, but there's also just differences in every realm of life. There's difference in ethnicity. There's difference in race. There's difference in heights. There's difference in maneuverability and reaction time and all of these different things, and in intellect as well. And this is talent. This is what we call talent. This genetic variability that you're noticing between men and women, it exists between me and you for poker. It exists between me and Hannah for dancing. It exists between me and an artist for art or whatever it is. There's going to be genetic variability that dictates certain things, and that's talent.
Yeah.
Apparently Pog was top 8 in the rankings at one point, so I take that back. My bad. My bad.
Yeah. So what about is kind of a similar point of view then. You're talking about genetic differences between race. So what's your thoughts on trans people? Very separate debate here.
Yeah. So it's all right. It's a debate. It's very welcome. What about trans people?
Olympics or sports in general competition.
I'm very, very publicly open about the fact that trans women should not be competing with women.
Okay, I agree. But are you?
I thought you might.
Are you in support of them
as people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, same views there, and
Yeah, fucking love them. love trans people. They're fucking great. Never tell another person never tell another adult what gender to be. Let them fucking decide whatever gender they want to be. Fucking have at it. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna have to agree with everything they say. Doesn't mean I'm gonna say a trans woman is a woman. But I'm happy to go along with the pretense if it helps them mentally and emotionally.
Yeah. So then their argument would then be,
wait, so somebody in the chat said, what the fuck does I love trans people, they're fucking great. I love all people, you asshole, including you. It's a very heated discussion for a lot of people.
Trans people, I love them. Yeah.
I love trans people, but I also love non-trans people. I also love this fucking rock. I love this fucking phone. I love fucking existence itself. I just love. In fact, if you think you don't love trans people, then you're the delusional one. People.
So what's your way around? So if we go to the trans, what's your way around that? Like, do you believe they shouldn't be able to compete?
Hell yeah! Get these trans women out of women's sports. It's fucking insane. Yeah. It's bananas. I don't want if my daughter wanted to be an athlete, right? I don't want to have to look her in the eye and say you're never going to be able to make it as an athlete because men have turned into women, and they're just out competing you in every single possible category that you can win in, so that you're not going to be able to make any money. You're never going to be able to win first place, even if you're the best woman in the world. It's atrocious that we're letting trans women just annihilate women in certain sports.
Yeah. And it's happened time and time again. We've seen them break records.
Something that makes me laugh is like, imagine in like cycling, for instance. There's probably the top 40 male cyclists in the world that if they transferred to being a woman, they would end up being the best women in the world. They get Olympic records. They get all of these different things. So every single one of those people that hasn't transitioned has resisted the temptation of being the best woman in the world. But then underneath that, I bet there are some people that are like genuinely want to make the transition to try and just fucking annihilate and get those gold medals and get all the glory, but have realized that they don't even make like podium. You know, they're like, oh man, I'm not even good enough to be the best woman. That'd be so embarrassing if you fucking turn over to the other gender and then still come fucking fourth.
You think there should be a trans on the Olympics, or would that be?
No, probably not, to be honest. Hey, what's up?
We have a call right now.
Huh?
We have a call right now.
Oh, I gotta go, guys. All the love. I got a call
Alright.
with the doctor
Cheers,
for the
Charlie.
baby. All the love, beautiful people. I love you all. Trans or cis, everything about you. Go check out my Discord, epiphanypoker.com. I'll put it in the fucking chat. And that was a very relaxed stream as streams go. Let me see. There's actually quite a few people watching on Twitch. Might as well raid somebody. Guys, jump in the Twitch.
Stream whenever you like.
This person seems really nice. Let's rate them. Ba ba da ba da ba da ba da ba. Love you all, love you all, love you all, love you all, love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. And shout out to Dwayne again for the life project. I'll leave the link of the YouTube thing in the chat one more time. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all.